Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. On this bonus episode, Lewis shares a piece of advice from one of his bosses at MassArt that I'd have to say is a pretty good way to live life. We also discuss what authenticity means in music, and he explains his thoughts on cynical optimism. So, hope you enjoy the episode and take something away from it. If you do want to see some of the history that we've been talking about, please follow my pages on Facebook and Instagram, as I'll be posting more photos from Lewis's time in music there. Thanks. You've had, a pretty incredible career so far already, from making beats and being a rapper and a poet and everything like that. But I'm kind of interested to hear if there was a mentor or another rapper, an engineer, or something like that. Like if there was someone around you that had a piece of advice that that you connected with, that resonated with you, that you'd want to share with our listeners.
Well, the mentor I think of isn't actually an MC or a rapper or anything like that at all. It was a person who was my boss when I worked at MassArt. In an office called the Center for Art and Community Partnerships. This woman named Equa. And, Equa is an incredible artist. Most of her stuff is collages. And I remember when I started doing poetry workshops, when I started teaching those, she started participating. And from there, she started writing poetry herself. Honestly, the advice I think of that I apply most of my life is her just saying, slow down. Honestly, like, you don't know how much that has affected my psyche. But just those two words, just slow down. It's okay. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour every time. You can slow down, you can take it slow, you can take your time. No one is making you go as fast as you're going. And I thought about that because I think what made her adopt that philosophy was she ended up injuring her shoulder and was out of work for like half a year and had to slow down literally to heal,
Okay.
And how much that is a weird thing to people who, are used to that fast pace all the time of literally having to just sit down and do nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I think of it like that now more than ever because, a lot of Don't Be Nice was produced during the pandemic, and a lot of it was, me thinking about like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I don't know how I'm going to find all the time to do it. But then I thought about what she said, which is slow down. And I thought, wait a second, it's a pandemic. I have plenty of time to do this because the world is moving slower than it ever has.
Yeah.
And, the sort of constraints that I used to put on myself no longer exist now because society doesn't deem them necessary anymore. So it became this thing where I thought about that as less, advice and more of a way to just live life, which is to slow down, take your time. It's okay, And honestly, for artists who always feel like, you're this close to being irrelevant, someone else is going to come along and take your spot or whatever, it's okay. You can slow down. Take the time that you need to make shit that's good. Don't rush to be the first. Slow down to be the best at what you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest piece of advice I think of.
Yeah. Okay. And then from your personal experience, from your journey of being a creative person, what advice would you give to someone?
To thyself be true.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like, when I listen to an artist, I'm not listening to their character. I listen for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you are, that's what people want to hear. So being true to yourself is the best way to write music. It's the best way to make music, the best way to approach anything artistic because, what is art except to, explore the self, expose the self, show sides of ourselves that we can't in casual conversation. Um, yeah, just to thyself, be true. And especially do that on record. And I think when you do that on record, people will respond, people will listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely feel like I can get a lot more out of music that does seem like it's coming from a more authentic place. Like it's hard for me to really like music that just seems that it's like canned or like, right. I'm writing this stuff because I think that that's what people are gonna like. So I get just that stuff like seems really hollow at times, and it's so yeah, man. I dig what you're talking about. I dig what you do, and yeah, it's cool to hear you present that in that way and that experience. So
yeah, I definitely. And if I may add one more point, I think some people listen for escapism, or like rappers that make it rain and all that. And there's a way to do that that can be authentic too.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be, like the grind of everyday life. It can be fanciful, it can be, free, but there are ways to make that yourself. There are ways to make that authentic too. And I think the challenge of that is finding out what that authenticity is, because I see plenty of artists that, write about themselves and write about their lives, and it also feels inauthentic. So it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a hard thing to determine. But I think of the sort of trajectory of anyone who makes art or who makes music is imitation, emulation, and innovation, right? You start off copying the things that you like, and then you sort of reverse engineer the things that you like, and then now you're just making stuff that you like that isn't like the things you like, So yeah. Anyway, I just thought about that when we were talking about the
I think it's brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. And last question is, what would you say inspires you? It could be with your music. It could just be, what inspired you to get up, like what in life?
Well, I'll say this. I consider myself a cynical optimist, right?
Okay.
Because the cynic in me believes that, things get worse, a lot worse, before they get better. The optimist in me believes that the world can be a good place for everyone if we fight for that, And I think that's what motivates me to get up. It's just that belief that we can make the world, society better, more fair, more just for everyone that lives in it, and not just a few. I think that's the thing that motivates me. Like I tend to be a pretty dark person, doom scrolling on Twitter and all that. But honestly, that's the thing that keeps me sort of like keeps me able to, sleep at night. Or in my case, the morning, which is when I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lewis, just thank you again, man. It's been really cool to talk to you and get some points of view on this stuff, man. I've learned a lot, so thank you.
Well, thank you for having me, for real. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. As you've heard us talk about, Lewis is a well-respected beatmaker that's worked with many, many other artists. He recently did all the beats for Toadstool's latest album, which is called Erectile Dysfunction. So I wanted to share a song off that release to demonstrate how great his collaboration work is. And also shout out that if you need beats, hit him up. I'll leave his info in the show notes. And enjoy this track.
Immaculate wordplay. Couldn't keep a nerd off a verse in the worst day. Taps since the first grade. Stay back shit to the old age and the dirt lay over the top of the casket. Homie, quit asking. Rather be dead than on tracks with you. It's not that too bad. It's just that I'm actually rapping. Feels like it's my birthday. Feels like I need a goddamn mic in the worst way. And I got enough tree for the village and the weed very sticky. Probably lift up my herb tray. Bringing shame to a flint on Earth Day. Flame flames as they dance with my burn ray. Y'all ain't nothing when that flame goes out and you made those rounds trying to pass off your wordplay. And I'm seeing right through you and all that voodoo's really been crucial to your name. But my clock is so cool, yeah. I'm right twice a day. See the fame in my turn phrase. Leave them dead where a hearse stay. Severed head on a dirt grave. Tombstone made fresh, 2 phones stay pressed. Who know if the words play? Immaculate wordplay. Couldn't see the half been bad since 3rd grade. Like what's really the case? Still coming up like helium tanks. Pretty dumb thanks, woody tongue banks. Like I still soon to be best of all time. Well, per se, verbatim, the best rapper that serves safe. Fillet a whole track and prep it nice on a pearl tray. To a T like the Titan Towers in Earl Grey. I'm bashing your nerves, straight gas with that immaculate wordplay. Immaculate wordplay. Couldn't keep a nerd off a verse in the worst day. Taps since the 1st grade. Stay back shit to the old age and the dirt lay over the top of the casket. Homie, quit asking. Rather be dead than on tracks with you. It's not that too bad. It's just that I'm actually rapping. Y'all just be acting like immaculate wordplay. Couldn't keep a nerd off a verse in the worst day. Taps since the 1st grade. Stay back shit to the old age and the dirt lay over the top of the casket. Homie, quit asking. Rather be dead than on tracks with you. It's not that too bad. It's just that I'm actually rapping.
Immaculate punchline. Hand smacked like you're playing grab ass in the lunch line. I'm happy it's lunchtime. Give it up for the rappers I already passed. One time. Where the laps are digestive tracks. When I molest the track, I can relax in the sunshine. I get high from the whole crowd cheering my name. The feeling's insane. Oh yeah, but the blunt's fine. Immaculate workflow. Scientific method like Doc Frank on the 3rd go. Reanimate a rhyme scheme for the fun time. The man he brought a nice beat for the bloodline. Hurts though, so hard that you never know where to put the emphasis. What was the slickest and what was the quickest? But I am the fastest. Give me some therapy, I can get past this. Give me some nitrous and I can get furious. A little extra though, don't wanna shoot myself in the foot like Plexico. Worrious, don't wanna shoot for the stars, Bruce Willis now. Gotta weed them out, find who's really down. Why do we reach for the face of God? The chase is art and we're so curious. Immaculate fertilization, you would think that he smelled like shit. But I attract all kind of attention. My aromas only rose hips. No slip, no spit on the 58. So many Sylvesters with the tweets they ate. Plenty of twists in the fit today. But hey, blame it on the simple twisted fate. Immaculate wordplay. Though he wasn't urban, he had a thirst in the worst way. Attack to your bird brain with the rapid and bombastic vernacular verb chain. Spectacular wordplay. But this kind of a status, you have to have cured AIDS. If arrested the last one, what was in the past, son? I recorded rap on the 3rd day. Immaculate wordplay. Though he wasn't urban, he had a thirst in the worst way. Attack to your bird brain with the rapid and bombastic vernacular verb chain. Spectacular wordplay. But this kind of a status, you have to have cured AIDS. If arrested the last one, what was in the past, son? I recorded rap on the 3rd day. Hey, what is he talking about? Raps. Yeah, he got a couple of freestyles coming at you from the boy, and he knows that, you know what, it's not a toy, this is a weapon, a deadly weapon. Oh yeah, we shred it. We shred hard. We're gonna give you what you were always asking for, but you didn't realize. What you always wanted. What you always wanted. It's immaculate.
The wordplay is just immaculate. Don't you understand? Do you understand? You don't understand? Okay.